Hi, it's Jeff Chalmers here from discoverdouble-bass.com. If you want to learn about this incredible instrument, the double bass, please go and check out our website for online lessons, courses, interviews, gear reviews. And we have a lot of tutors covering many different styles, and we're joined by a brand new tutor today to the website. It's somebody who I'm a big fan of. I love their playing, and they're a really incredible, inspiring double bass player. So please welcome Joseph Conyers. So wonderful to have you here, Joseph.
Thanks, Jeff. Good
Thanks
to see
for
you.
coming and joining us in Leeds on this journey into orchestral double bass. So Joseph, if you don't know him, is a member of the Philadelphia Orchestra. And remind me of your position in the orchestra.
I'm the assistant principal double bass.
Well, that's fantastic to hear. And we've really enjoyed you being here this week. You've been filming a lot about orchestral bass playing. We've been covering many of the commonly played excerpts and talking about orchestral double bass technique. And we've had a few questions in from the audience, things that we've been asked to put to Joe, so hopefully we'll be able to enlighten you a little bit about some of these topics. And today we're going to be talking about what makes a great bass section, Joe. So you obviously play in one of the world's greatest orchestras in the Philadelphia Orchestra.
We do our best.
You do your best.
Yes.
And it's an incredible section. And the leader of the section is Hal Robinson.
Hal Robinson, yes.
Yeah, so it's a really incredible section. And one of the questions was, well, if I summarize, can you talk to us a little bit about how you deal as a section with issues of intonation and maybe vibrato and phrasing, how you come together to present, the best possible version of the music that you're playing?
Well, playing in a section is a real team sport. So it's really, really important that with any team, like you must have some kind of leadership, someone to guide you. And in our section, we just happen to have one of the very best, Hal. And so we do look to our section leader for vibrato. The section leader leads the pitch of the section, in many ways the ensemble, and it's really, really important, particularly for young bass players, to get this concept. What is it like, this idea of playing with a group to make a collective sound? It's not just playing on your own and kind of doing your own thing, so if your vibrato's not matching, but really getting used to playing in this collective body and blending with the sound of the section versus sticking out.
Do you think that as a section, the longer that you're part of it, the more that you learn about the collective approach to?
Oh, very much so.
I imagine when you have a new player come in, no matter how great they are, they must have a different vibe, and they've got to fit into what you're doing.
Right. No, that's a very good point, and that's a very good point, particularly for someone who's winning a job after they've passed the audition.
Yeah.
Getting the section. One of the most important things is how quickly you do respond. And honestly, at the highest professional level, it better be pretty quick.
Yeah.
So if the section is playing short and you're playing super long and legato, and it takes longer than a bar or two to figure that out, that would be very strange.
Yeah.
Because just our training with chamber music, this is why we study things like chamber music and play in smaller ensembles, is to know how we bounce off of each other, and you should be able to do that lightning fast. Yeah. Just adjusting on the fly.
And are you you're taking your cues from Hal, and one of the sort of sub-questions here was, in terms of bowings, are they decided collectively? Does the leader decide, and then essentially it's passed down?
Generally, with every job, having sat principal of an orchestra myself, where that was my main job, we get the bowings in advance, and they're predetermined in advance. So by the time you're at your first rehearsal, they've already been decided, they've already been vetted, they've already been compared to the other strings in the section. Then in the rehearsal, there might be someone may say, Hal, that feels a little clunky, could we change this, or blah, blah, and then there will be conversation. Ultimately, the decision lies with Hal, but Hal is very democratic.
Yeah.
And he will try to go with something that the section agrees on.
Oh, that's fantastic. And in terms of coming together with sound, I mean, we were talking about different instruments recently.
Sure.
So you play a beautiful bass, Norma.
Norma, yes.
Who is a Panormo.
Yes.
And then you also play a wonderful modern instrument by Aaron Riley.
That is correct. Yes.
Named Riley, of the bass. And yeah, in terms of the section, do you feel that there's a particular need for an appropriate type of instrument when you're playing together? I mean, in terms of sound concepts, what I'm thinking is there any uniformity of perhaps strings, or maybe you only play French bow, or you know?
Ooh, that can. We're covering a lot.
A lot of ground there.
We in Philadelphia, we do have an approach of general warmth, So we do like a warmth in the sound. We still want clarity, but richness and fullness of sound. We aren't looking for anything that's bright or angular, particularly from our section. Not to say someone who might play at a level or play in the way that the orchestra wants can't come to the orchestra, but they might adjust some equipment to fix and fit better with that section, which is common. They might change the string. I mean, the string for us is easier. I think woodwind and brass players have it harder because they might have to change instruments completely. That would be rare. Generally, we might be able to take care of an issue like that with a string change.
Yeah, and what's the mix of French and German bow within the orchestra?
So for many years, decades, it's been French bow only in the Philadelphia Orchestra. The Curtis Institute of Music, for decades, it was French bow only. I don't know when the last German bow player maybe even was at the school before the 21st century. That said, Hal is very progressive and very open-minded, and he accepted now he's accepted actually a number of German bow players that have come through the school since, I think the first came in while I was there, so this was the early 2000s. So that was the first, he broke the German bow glass ceiling that was at the Curtis Institute of Music. And since we've hired a German bow player that is now in the section, which is, again, for the first time in many, many decades, probably since the 50s, that there was a German bow player in the section of the orchestra.
That's really interesting to hear from somebody who sits outside the world of orchestral playing to glimpse inside. I love hearing about it. It's such an amazing, amazing journey. And I really appreciate you coming down and sharing this information. Now, if you don't know Joseph, which I suspect most people who are watching this video do, please go and check out his Instagram channel is what I'm thinking about, that you should really check him out over there. Is it Weatherclef?
Weatherclef.
You see, we've been chatting all week about the weather.
That's
and
right.
I've only just made the connection between is it Instagram handle?
That's Instagram handle. That's it.
I'm catching up slowly and surely, but I'll provide a link to, do you have any other ways people can get in touch with you? Do you have a website? I'm not sure.
I'm working on the website. The website's
Okay.
almost done.
Yeah.
That will be, hopefully, maybe even by the time this comes out, we'll be able to announce it with the courses.
Oh, well, that'd be cool. Well, I'll share all the links and for Joseph, for contacting Joseph and learning more about him below. And thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. So I'm really excited today to be joined by a new tutor at the website, somebody who I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan of everyone that's teaching here, frankly, but I'm talking.
I was going to say, I'm a big fan of everyone. You're not special, Joe.
Yeah, I know. Oh, great.